Hello everyone! Welcome to another Let's Play of King's Quest VI. My name is Anna Mardol. So when we last left off in this game, we were standing staring up at what is known as the Cliffs of Logic, or I guess it's just the Logic Cliffs, which are an artifact from the Ancient One's civilization. Now, if you didn't listen to me read on from the instruction booklet last time, or even if you did and you've forgotten, this Isle of the Sacred Mountains contains a race called the Winged Ones. People with wings. They look like angels, I guess. And used to, when all was well between the islands, when someone would land here at the cliffs, the greeters would fly down, pick them up, and take them up to the city and basically ferry them around like a personal Uber service. Things are not good between the islands, and we're not getting our Uber to come. So we're looking at these cliffs that have writing in the walls. And the cliffs were made by a race that preceded the Winged Ones called the Ancient Ones. And the Ancient Ones maybe couldn't even fly themselves. They definitely didn't have wings. So the Ancient Ones have left behind riddles, and the first challenge of the Logic Cliffs is that only those pure of heart will be able to rise the Cliffs of Logic. And the instruction book was kind enough to place rise in all caps. We have 4 words here: ignorance kills and wisdom elevates. And if we press on the letters, they depress. It's all the letters. It's not just some of them. So R-I-S-E. Huge blocks of stone erupt from the granite cliffs. Huh. Alexander stares with wonder. That's quite a way to welcome a guest, if indeed it is a welcome. These don't look or feel safe. There's no guardrail. And they're very steep. Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff. A master of languages will... This is not in a section of the Logic Cliffs. This is in the section under the Ancient Ones. The Ancient Ones were believers in the power of language. They were fond of saying, a master of languages will soar. The problem is, those aren't English. But we do have on page 43 of the King's Quest Collection series a list of letters that correspond to our letters in our English alphabet. S looks like this. This symbol represents happiness, the dog, the color pink, and marble. O looks like this, and it represents joy, the dolphin, the color azure, and sapphires. A looks like this, and it's harmony, the cat, the colors sienna and earth. And R looks like this bird thing. And it represents grief, the jackal, the color silver, and the element silver. And if you're thinking how convenient it is that the Ancient One's alphabet only had 36 letters, it is quick to assure you that there are other minor symbols, but those were used only for accent and as representation of complex philosophical ideals, which are not included here. Obviously. It is possible, if you misclick, by the way, to fall here. If you get the logic puzzles wrong, the stones will disappear and you will plummet to your death. The Ancient Ones did not mess around. Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff. The third challenge, the stones of stealth, are associated with this riddle. 4 men standing in a row. Third from the left, and down you go. The rest in order move you on. The youngest, the oldest, and the second son. The youngest, the oldest, and the second son? There we go. Obviously. Now you might be wondering how Alexander would know any of this. This is a really good question because while the travel guide is written by a citizen of Daventry, it contains a lot of information that Alexander has not known and has needed to be told by other people. So we can't even say, well, maybe Alexander read the travel guide before he set out for Casima's kingdom, because he wouldn't need to be told all that he has needed to be told. There really is no in-game explanation that I can think of for why Alexander would be able to do this. This is the Sacred Four, and we know from a previous paragraph that the Sacred Four is the emotion tranquility, the color azure, the creature caterpillar, and the element air. Tranquility is the letter D, and it is this sort of, it reminds me of like a pagoda building. The color azure is the O that we saw earlier. The creature caterpillar is Q, and it looks like this kind of, well, kind of like a worm with legs. Okay. And the element air is G, and it looks like this. But there is absolutely no reason, none, why Alexander should know any of this. It's interesting how often copy protection kind of has to break suspension of disbelief, because if it's something you could figure out in game on your own, then it wouldn't make very good copy protection. it's essentially, it has to come as knowledge ex nihilo out of nothing, because otherwise someone playing the game would be able to figure it out. And then this is the 5th challenge. Only those of the highest order may ascend the cliffs of logic. Ascend is A-S-C-E-N-D. All silent cry the noble boulders. I don't know what that means. Whew. Alexander finds himself, finally, at the top of the cliffs. Exhausted, he steps over the lip of the plateau and stands. Why do you make such an effort to climb the cliffs, young man? The winged ones who live on this island have the power of flight. You can have it too, if only you would eat a berry from this magical flying nightshade bush. See, the sweet berries will make you float like a petal on the wind. Try some. The old woman has a pleasant grandmotherly face, but something about her makes Alexander uneasy. But who are you, matron? Who cares? I mean, I am only a poor old woman who wishes you well, handsome stranger. Think of me as your grandmama if you like. Come, stranger, trust me. Think of what I'm offering you. How can this plant give me the power of flight? Listen, son, I'll be happy to answer any questions you like, but only if you at least taste these delicious berries. I don't think I want to. I wonder what would happen. Young man, you offend me. I try to help you and you insist on being rude. What would happen if we offered her... Oh, we can't offer her a mint. We're out of mints. Just saying. So what do we have here? We have huge doors set into the solid rock of the mountain. Alexander is standing at the top of a tall series of cliffs. To the north is a peak of a mountain rising to meet the clouds. To the left is an ominous set of bolted doors. An old woman is standing nearby. She peers at Alexander with friendly interest. Oh, I missed what she said. Oh, fortunately, we saved our game. A bush with dark, shiny leaves grows against the east cliff wall. The old woman identified it as nightshade. A small cluster of black berries tops the bush. All right then, stay tied to the ground like a load of lead. See if I care, you human? How odd! The woman just disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Perhaps those berries are even more powerful than she led Alexander to believe. Perhaps. There's a little hole here, a natural opening in the rock near the nightshade bush. Alexander crawls through the small opening in the rock. No. Alexander finds himself in a dark cave. We have a tinder box. Alexander takes the candle from his tinder box and uses the flint in the box to light it. On the wall opposite the cliffs is the vague outline of another opening in the rock. Alexander crawls through the opening in the rock. The lighting in this part of the cave is better. Alexander extinguishes the candle's flame and places it back in his pack. A small plant grows on the grassy ledge. It smells like peppermint. Alexander takes a few leaves from the plant. As he does so, a strong smell of peppermint is released. Ah, well, that sounds nice. But let's leave. Alexander crawls back into the first room of the cave. Alexander can't see a thing. I don't know if it was necessary to light the candle, but you know what? It's better safe than sorry. Can we open these doors? No, the huge doors are locked tight. Somebody obviously wants to keep something out, or something in. Well, let's go up towards the mountain. Hopefully we won't have to climb any more cliffs. Let's go up toward, there we go. Look, an intruder! I can see him, Bob. Hold, how did you get up here, human? I climbed the cliffs? That is not possible. No one has solved the cliffs of logic in several centuries, and if the cliffs were to be solved, it would certainly not be by a human. I didn't mean to trespass. I only wanted to visit this beautiful island. No visitors have been welcome on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain in years. Not since the Red and White Queens had spies in the guise of friendly visitors steal our island's sacred golden fleece. But we will not display such foolish trust again. You will have to answer to Lord Azure and Lady Ariel. They will determine what will be done with you. I can assure you it will not be pleasant. I can't tell if they're twins with the same face, or if the avatar is just moving back and forth from one side of the screen to the other. I'm going to assume they're twins. Twin representation. Did you hear the bit about the Red and White Queen? With what trickery did you master the cliffs of logic and reach the city of the winged ones? Okay, good. I was afraid it might be timed text where I'd only have a certain amount of time. Did you notice the bit where they said that the Red and White Queen had their golden fleece stolen? First of all, I have a really hard time imagining them pulling something off. They seemed very silly. Let alone, second of all, them working together to do it. But I don't know. So here we are in this reception hall of the Lord and Lady of the island. And they are very beautifully attired and have beautiful wings. And the Lord is demanding what trickery we used to master the cliffs of logic and reach the city of the winged ones. Well, we had an instruction booklet, so that helped. Only the magic of clear thought, my lord. I meant no harm. The cliffs of logic? It is the sacred oracle's prophecy, Azure. Yes, Ariel. It is lucky for you, human, that climbing the cliffs of logic is part of a prophecy that I cannot ignore. We have just been ordered by Vizier Alhazarad himself to dispose of any strangers that might land on our fair isle, but the prophecy would have a different fate befall you. The prophecy predicts that whosoever climbs the cliffs of logic will defeat the Minotaur. The Minotaur has violated our sacred catacombs and eats our young in sacrifice. Our own daughter, Lady Celeste, was taken there only this morning as his most recently demanded offering. A dilemma, then. Whom shall I obey in regards to your fate, the oracle or the crown? But since Alhazarad did not dictate how I was to dispose of intruders, and since you cannot
possibly survive the catacombs, your imprisonment there should serve both purposes quite admirably. I will not resist you in this, my lord. I shall do my best to save your daughter. First, I must tell you that the catacombs are a labyrinth of rooms, a place of exceeding danger. You will need many tools and clear wits to survive it. I am ready. So this is a nice touch. If you do not have the necessary inventory to survive the catacombs, unlike King's Quest V, where it would just let you go in, Alexander will here say, I need to gather some stuff first before I go. And they say, okay, we're trusting you to come back, which is nice. I like it. Very well. My guards will take you there now. You seem courageous enough, but the catacombs will determine how brave you really are. Well, I feel braver than you guys. But I guess you've been dealing with this longer than I have been, so I get it. Why did you tell Lord Azure you were ready and willing to face the catacombs? No one is ever ready, and only a fool could be willing. And you are far wiser, I suppose? To leave a maiden to die? To not fight this plague on your own people? Bravery and suicide are two different things, human. You have a chance to renounce your choice soon enough when you lay trembling under the Minotaur's hooves. We shall see. Thanks for the escort. We only escort you to your death. May the fates make it quick so that you do not have to scream long. Well, thanks, I guess. The catacomb's entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards. Okay. It seems that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option. I said I had the instruction booklet to this game, and I do. I do not have the hint booklet. But I have something we didn't have in 1991 or 2 when this came out. I have the internet. And we are going to trust the internet to give me the right directions. I do remember mapping this area, and I remember it being doable. Walk north. Oh, yeah, there's a bat that guides you north. East. The walls of the catacomb are rough and cold to the touch. The walls of the catacomb are made of massive stone tiles. That's the north wall of the room. Niches in the wall form stone burial beds. Ancient bones lie crumbling on unyielding rock. Alexander is standing in one of many chilling rooms of the catacombs. The maze is laid out in a seemingly random way, yet Alexander knows there must be some way of conquering its secrets. East again, so we went north, north, east, east, north. A lone skull lies on the ground among the skeletons. Where the skull came from is a mystery, since the other remains seem to have their skulls intact. The remains of several unfortunate souls haunt this room. These bones seem more recent than the ancient catacomb bones that Alexander has seen so far. Perhaps they were victims of the Minotaur, or perhaps they died while wandering lost in the maze. 3 of the skeletons are completely intact. Well, let's take a skull. We now have a skull in our inventory. That was a spell component for one of the spells. If we survive this, maybe we can cast magic. Walk south, west, west, following the bat, north, and west again.
we have reached an odd-looking room. Alexander is standing in a room with a tiled floor. Except for the tiles directly in front of the doors, each tile bears an engraving. Alexander has a feeling that the unique floor isn't merely decorative. So, you may or may not remember that I read a poem, Three Roses Laid Upon the Bower. So, there's a rose here, a rose here, and a rose here. A scythe for he who cuts the flower. A crown, a dove, most noble race. A crown. There we go, a dove. Thy bones make sacred this dread place. Okay. Hey, look at that, we didn't die. Walk north 1. And there is a shield on the wall. An old wooden shield hangs on the wall. That seems useful. Alexander takes the shield from the wall. Walk north. 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 West. West. Alexander notices that this skeleton has old coins over its eyes. Alexander finds 2 coins on the skeleton's eyes. He takes the old coins. That used to be a burial custom, I think, for ancient Greeks, to bury people with 2 coins on the eyes so that they would have money to pay the ferry in the underworld. Or at least that's what I read as a kid. Walk east, east, south, south, there we go, and east. It's a trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside, and the ceiling is coming down. We have a brick from the Isle of Beast. In a desperate move, Alexander throws a brick into the grinding gears. The brick is caught between 2 cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The mechanism grinds to a halt. The ceiling is stuck. The trap is sprung. Whew. Walk east. East. North. And east. Oh no. Zounds, a trap floor. Zounds, that's even better than Grand's drat. Well, we're not dead. Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the catacombs. Wherever he is, this place sure is dark. Alexander can't even see the hand in front of his face. Let's fix that. Alexander takes the candle from his tinder box and uses the flint in the box to light it. Ah, so that's why it's so dark in here. A torch is out. Alexander lights the extinguished torch and puts his tinder box away. Whew. So let's save our game. We need to walk west. West. More west. A fourth west. And a fifth west. South. South. And east. Alexander hears the sound of a wild beast again, this time so loud that the creature itself seems to be in the same room with him. The noises are coming from the other side of the east wall. We have this hole in the wall that we picked up from the Isle of Wonder. Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the east wall. The hole in the wall trembles slightly with dread at the clammy feeling of the stones. Oh, that's not what we want to do. We want to look through it. Alexander peers through the hole in the wall and sees just another room in the catacombs. Aha! Not just another room at all. So that's why Alexander couldn't find the Minotaur's lair. At least Alexander now knows the lair exists somewhere in the maze on the other side of this wall. While Alexander contemplates what he's just seen, the hole in the wall, frightened by the Minotaur, makes a run for it. Alexander hopes the little creature finds its way home to the Isle of Wonder. I hope so too. That's, I feel kind of guilty about that. Walk west. West again. West a third time. South. South. East. South. East. East. North. East. North. Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms. That's not creepy. North. It's the room with the tapestry. Alexander is standing in a dead-end room in the catacombs. A tapestry hangs on the east wall, and the only exit lies to the south. But we know from the hole in the wall that there's a trick entrance. This tapestry looks familiar. Now, let's see. I don't feel anything. Aha! A hidden latch. Alexander triggers the little latch. A secret door rolls open. All right, guys. Here we go. No, I beg of you, please don't hurt me. Your struggles are useless. It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a Winged Ones girl. She must be Lady Celeste. Alexander has found the Minotaur's lair. The chamber has the rank smell of a beast's den, but a strange altar testifies to the Minotaur's evil intelligence. A beautiful Winged Ones girl is struggling for her life against the Minotaur. Alexander steps further into the room. The movement catches Lady Celeste's eye. She screams for help. You there, human! Help me! Help! Who dares enter my lair? I ask you to release your captive or suffer the consequences. Never! You die, human! As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away. Until he can back away no more. Now where to, little man? we have a red scarf that the Red Queen drops. Alexander is back inches from the fiery pit, tempts the Minotaur with a Red Queen scarf. Look here, you bully. Nice bright red. Red? Now you die. The Minotaur drops from sight amidst the consuming flames. Slowly, his scream fades as well. Have you been harmed, Lady Celeste? Are you all right? No, I am not all right. I assume you do not intend to leave me tied up on this vile monstrosity? Of course not. Sorry. Let's see, if you'll give me a moment, I'll have these untied in no time. I can't wait that long. Look, I wear a small dagger just inside my belt. It should be enough to cut the rope. Oh, all right. I've got it, Lady Celeste. Here we go. Thank you. You may keep the dagger as a gift for saving my life. That's very generous. Forget it. Do you mind if we just get out of here now? Okay, fair enough. I wouldn't be at my best either. The Winged One's guards, bored with the pointless waiting, are startled by the sound of rock moving against rock. Lady Celeste, by thee well? I'm quite well, thanks to the bravery of a mere human. So much for your superior intellects. Yes, m'lady. Now bring him along. I'm going home.
I see you have proven yourself the hero of the prophecy. I am expected to thank you for saving my daughter's life, so I thank you. I am obliged to thank you also for the restoration of our sacred catacombs. It means much to our people. We have already begun the process of clearing the deadly traps from its rooms. It is also my duty to grant you a visit with the Oracle, so this I do. I will grant you the freedom to leave here unharmed, despite my orders to the contrary from the crown, but there my obligations to you end. I have no love for Alhazarad, but he is my liege, and if Princess Cassima trusts him and wishes to wed him, my guard will take you to the Oracle now. When your time with her is through, I want you to leave the city of the Winged Ones and never return. I don't know who you are or what you want here, but I will not disobey my crown further. I thank you, Lord Azure. I will respect your wishes. That seemed ungrateful of him, but he is in a difficult position. He's essentially committing treason. And this is the Oracle. Hail to thee, great Oracle! Lord Azure sends you this wingless mail. It appears he solved the Cliffs of Logic and defeated the Minotaur in his lair. So I have seen. So this is the one that haunts my pool of late. Welcome, young seeker. What knowledge do you desire? Princess Cassima, whatever you can tell me, great Oracle. Of course, the princess. That explains my images. Let us see what we can see. I see a maiden, lovely and pure, but surrounded by evil. She is a rose set amidst bitter thorns. It is her fate to be the pawn of dark powers, and yours to try to redeem her. How? How do I redeem her? Fate is not like the cut of a blade, young one, but rather like the myriad of paths formed when a hammer cracks ice. I will tell you what I can, but what will actually come to pass is up to you. I see that any attempt to reach the girl will force you into battle, a struggle against a dark force. If you lose, your life will be forfeit. Who must I fight? A great darkness surrounds your adversary, preventing me from seeing clearly. I can only make out the shape of a black cloak. But before this final struggle, I see infiltration, a dangerous game of hide and seek in corridors filled with enemies. The risks are high, but it is the only way to reach the one you seek. There is more than one way into this place. Your choice will dictate much. What else do you see, mighty oracle? Oh, such pain. I see two restless spirits crying out for revenge. These shades could help you destroy the dark force if they were to be brought back from their spiritual form. Yet this is only one possible path to your destiny. I'm afraid this is getting beyond me. I know very little about the afterlife. I can only advise getting counsel from the druids. Be warned, the druids are reclusive and dangerous. They might aid you, or they might destroy you. Like their island, the druid's nature is hidden in mists. There is nothing more I can do for you except to give you this. It is water from the sacred pool. That and my blessing go with you. Thank you, great oracle.
And with that, we are deposited on the cliffs and told to bugger off. We have some new items now as a consequence of going to the labyrinth, and one of them is a shield. What I would like to do is, well, now that's interesting. Isle of the Mists. Another island has appeared on the magic map. Alexander wonders if it has anything to do with the oracle's reference to the druids. I wanted to go to the Isle of Beasts, but let's just go check out the Isle of Mists. It's too tempting not to check it out. From the northeast come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting. Alexander is standing on the beach of a shrouded island. From here, two paths lead into the island, one to the northwest and one to the northeast. Weird, gnarled trees and rolling mists add to the island's eerie atmosphere. So, it said the northeast was the chance, so let's avoid that. She said the druids were dangerous. From the east come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting. A communal fire pit occupies a place of honor in the center of the little village. The fire pit, naturally enough, contains coal. The coals are cold. That's odd, because Alexander definitely smells the smoke of an open fire close by. Alexander reaches into the fire pit and takes a lump of coal. A wooden-handled scythe hangs against a bearskin on one of the tree houses. Now, Alexander is standing in a small village. Arranged around him in a circle are houses built into the hollows of huge trees. In the center of the village is a fire pit. The two paths end at a clearing here. A path to the south leads back to the beach, and a path to the east leads inland. Around the clearing is a village of tree houses. A horned animal skull is on display in the center of the village. Based on the central location, it may serve as ceremonial protection against danger. I think we should leave. And I think we should use our map And I think I'm going to go to the Isle of Wonder. Because you know what we just picked up? We just picked up a lump of coal. There has been so much strife and so much fighting, and everybody's been at each other's throats and kind of rude, and finally we have the opportunity to end one of those fights because wait a second, what's that? We'll come back for it. The two queens were fighting over who got to take a lump of coal to the princess's wedding. And we can solve this at least. Your Highness may as well spend her royal time contemplating something else. The lump of coal shall be sent to the Castle of the Crown under my name, and that's all there is to it. No, it shan't. Yes, it shall. If the coal is sent in your name, I shall royally decree a ban on all red on the isle. You do, and I shall royally declare that white shall henceforth be used for all mopping up of cabbage stew. You wouldn't dare. Oh, wouldn't I? No, it's you. Have you thought of any more of those brilliant ideas of yours? Yes. I found the two of you another lump of coal so that you can stop fighting over the one you have. Oh, let me see a lump of coal, and what a beauty it is too! Marvelous! Now we can stop fighting, sister. Your Highness can just keep the old lump of coal, and I'll take this new one. Quite right, this settles everything. As a token of our endless esteem and royal favor, please accept this magnificent and truly incredible spoiled egg. Thanks. We did a good deed. Let me see that lump of coal, Your Highness. It is a beauty, isn't it? Why, it's bigger than my lump of coal. Let me have it immediately. Over my dead body, Your Highness. It's my lump of coal, and it is indeed larger and much grander. Just look at that sheen. I demand you exchange it with me immediately. Well, we did our best. Do you two have anything to say? Can I pass into your fair land? Heavens, no. No humans are allowed in Chessboard Land. Never have been and never will be. I think I'm okay with that. There's a small bottle on the coffee table that bears the label "Drink Me." Alexander picks up the bottle. Well, it is something. We'll hold on to it. I wanted to go to Beast Island, but before we do that, to finish out this video, I will read a passage I skipped earlier on the Isle of Wonder. And I will just be reading for the rest of this video. If you don't want to hear the reading, you can skip ahead to the next video. Imagine a place where the very path beneath your feet might complain of your weight, and the trees purposefully drop twigs on your head for the sheer merriment of it all, and you'll have an idea of what it's like to be on the Isle of Wonder. The Isle of Wonder is a comma-shaped body of land that might as well resemble a question mark, for confusion and astonishment are sure to be the lot of the unsuspecting visitor. The island is teeming with life. Vegetation is abundant, as are the island's inhabitants. In fact, the two are frequently one and the same. One can scarcely pick up a grain of sand on that shore without it demanding to be put right back in this instance, if you please. The history of this unusual land is an issue of fervent speculation. Many believe that it was an uninteresting, deserted island until a wizard enchanted the whole place, bringing everything in it to life, and presented it to his daughter as a birthday present. Others say that the island was once the prison of a beautiful princess, held captive there by a powerful and jealous queen. The maiden was so fair that the very trees and stones themselves could not bear to hear her crying, and came to life to provide her companionship. Still another group ardently claims that the creator of the universe simply got tired of the serious business of life-giving and decided to indulge his or her sense of humor. Whatever the origin, a more delightful spot could scarcely be imagined. But be warned, those travelers who like to know exactly what to expect from life would be well advised to go elsewhere. While most of the island's inhabitants are friendly, some of the thornier natives are capable of being downright rude, and all are quirksome. Visitors are frequent on the Isle of Wonder, for it offers a refreshing respite from the ho-hum of everyday life. Even the king and queen enjoy a picnic on Exclamation Point or a stroll in the gardens, and they are on occasion to be found there relaxing and passing the time of day with the island's natives. The rulers of the Isle of Wonder are a pair of queens, rivals in every way, and most frequently to be found arguing over everything from the color of the sky to the consistency of potato hash. Despite their eccentricities, the Isle of Wonder seems to run smoothly and be a flourishing part of the kingdom, providing many valuable exports and lending the kingdom a light-heartedness to counter its more serious countrymen on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. With that, I will go ahead and save our game, and when we come back, we shall visit the Isle of Beast again. I have a use in mind for that shield that we picked up in the catacombs. But for now, I will sign off. And so I shall see you in the next video. Once again, this has been King's Quest VI. I am Anna Mardal, and I am deeply, intensely grateful for your company as we go through this. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.